do it.
All right, let's do some of that warm-up again. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's got a smile, and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories when everything was as fresh as the bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, it takes me away to that special place. Stay too long, I'll probably break down and cry.
That was funny.
Oh, sweet child of mine. Whoa, sweet love of mine. Yeah. We're back.
That was silly.
Baby brother is here. Baby brother.
That was dumb.
Say hi. You can see in the shot if you're watching us live, because the video was working, so I just let it rip. Because if it wasn't working, I wasn't going to bother. But you can see here, for Christmas, I got a lovely gift from a friend of mine that I just now found out a place for in frame. Jacob V Weekly on air for my dear friend Ellie in Denver or something. We have been writing for the podcast every day since we did our last episode at the end of July. I think it was July 30th. And we have just now gotten, our wits about us. Guys, I did summer camps. It was crazy out here. Are we rolling? Everything's rolling. I love when everything's working. I'm just suspicious of it. I'm just suspicious. First of all, absolutely, tonight is the Kitten Around fundraiser at the Funny Bone. I actually am officially a member of the board of people at Caddyshack now. It's a volunteer, it's an unpaid role there that I just want to help them with some planning for some future fundraising and endeavors and goals. So Caddyshack, New Hamel, Illinois. The only thing we advertise on the show officially is this small family-run nonprofit cat rescue. So if you can help them out, Caddyshack, New Hamel, Illinois. The only way to support this show is on patreon.com/JacobV, JACOBVI. We just did a solo piano date at the Heavy Anchor opening for my friends in the defeated county, and that whole show is available on Patreon, the whole set. I recorded it off the board, and I brought it home that night and mixed and mastered it, so patrons got that immediately. Baby brother was at the show. Clay, how was the piano show?
Oh, it was fantastic.
What did you like about it?
You know what? A couple of your songs that I've heard full band style being played like in a different way. I really enjoyed that.
That really makes me feel good that you would even bother to recognize that they're songs you've heard before.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of your shows. But I've known each other. We've known each other for a long time.
Too long.
Yeah.
Too long. I'm trying to wrap it up.
Almost crazy.
So that's available. Have you listened to it on Patreon yet?
What is that?
The show. I know you were at the show.
I know, but I'm too embarrassed because the video I'm blocking it like half the time.
No, but it's just the audio on Patreon.
Oh, that's good.
And so it sounds really good.
That's good because I really ruined that video.
That's true. I was recording video just in case the board recording didn't sound good or didn't work out, and Clay stood right in front of my camera the whole show.
Like 3/4 of it.
Yeah, he didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
I'm bevved up, dog.
Good. Do you just throw a can?
No, I have a bin in there.
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah, I have a bin in there now. It even says the bin. That used to be the homework bin when I was a teacher. My kids would put their homework in that bin. And somebody at summer school one year made me a little thing that says the bin, and I still have that. Now I throw Diet Coke cans in it when I'm doing my podcast.
Hell of a transition.
No Antics, a band that I'm in, has another new single since last time we did this. You got to find them on Spotify, Apple Music. No Antics. We have music videos we produce and direct ourselves that are on our YouTube. We also have our first merch drop. The link just went live yesterday for the No Antics baseball tee, the first ever merch from that band. You can pre-order those. Pre-orders are going to be open for 30 days. And I'm actually managing all of that personally. So, hit up No Antics on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and find the link for the baseball tee pre-order. They're going to be really great. They're going to be here before Christmas. So, praise God. Blinded by Stereo is also a band that I'm in. We have a record for sale. I sold a copy of the record at the piano show the other night at the Heavy Anchor. People really like it. It's on beautiful, thick, 180-gram translucent blue vinyl. Sounds really good. We produced it locally with a really great guy, and
It's like electric blue.
it sounds amazing, and it looks really good, and it was a lot of fun to do. And we have dates coming up. Make sure to keep up with them. No Antics is playing Saturday. This Saturday, if you're listening to this live. What is that? The 17th.
This Saturday would be
Yeah.
Yep.
At Music Record Shop. There's a show happening there between 6 and 9. Music Record Shop on Locust, I believe. And then Blinded by Stereo is playing Heavy Anchor next Friday, I think, the 23rd. And busy. We have favorite songs on Spotify for the month of September. We've been cooking on that for a couple weeks. Jacob V's favorite songs on Spotify. It's a good list. It's a good list so far. There's some great stuff on there. Let's just get started. Apparently, I was just thinking about this today because I had to type my phone number into something. Apparently, the 314 area code is going extinct. Or endangered in that you won't be able to get new phone numbers with the 314 area code.
Yeah. That's kind of weird. I don't really know what to say about that, actually.
I mean, statistically, it's proven to happen. The amount of 314 area codes left to give out is shrinking each day, and people with new phone numbers in St. Louis will soon be assigned a new area code, which will be 557.
557. I hate it. I really do.
I don't believe
like
in it. It's an affront on my morals.
Yeah.
I feel besmirched.
It's going to be confusing.
I feel bereft.
It's like 636. Like
bewildered. I got something in my eye.
You know what I mean?
There's something in my eye right now. So 557. We're living in a hellscape. I saw a handwritten poster on Chippewa the other day, right by my house here in lovely Southampton, St. Louis City proper, that said, "We buy diabetic test strips," with a local 314 motherfucking phone number.
Yeah.
Why? How is it possible that that's profitable for you to buy cash for diabetic test strips on the street?
Well, I mean, the economy.
What about it?
I think there's probably some people that probably can't afford some stuff. I don't know actually how expensive the test strips themselves are.
So do you think it's like my mom just died and she had a whole barrel of test strips she never used, so I could just sell these to this guy and he'll give me $50 for them and I'll put her in an urn?
That would kind of be like the ideal way to go about that, rather than stealing or selling your own. Inheriting a fortune of test strips that you're going to sell.
That's the thing. We should write a movie like that.
At Hampton and Chippewa behind the bank.
That like the only way to feed your kids is to sell your diabetic test strips. It's going to kill you, but your kids are going to eat.
That's sad. Why would you want to talk about that?
That's like a movie Matt Damon would make.
I can't see him in a movie about that.
You can't see him.
You think Matt Damon? You don't think something a little softer?
I mean, that's what's topical. Mike Parsons doesn't want your student loan debt forgiven. 22 Republican governors have expressed their disapproval of the debt cancellation in a letter to Joe Biden.
Yeah, that's fucking horseshit.
Yeah, well, we hate that guy. He's the number one enemy of this show is Governor Mike Parsons.
I really don't want to even talk
If
about
I saw
that
him at the
motherfucker.
grocery store, I would shake my head.
I would tickle that weird neck of his.
Yeah, he's got a weird neck.
Mm-hmm. But it'd be a hate tickle. Wouldn't be like a love tickle. It's different.
Riverfront Times, signs you've lived in St. Louis for too long. If any of these strike my fancy, I'll let you know. Wedding Mastacholi.
Ooh.
That's my jam.
Shit.
Fucking
I did. Oh, no.
shitty
Oh.
Midwestern fucking event pasta is I'll eat a whole tin of it.
Yeah, I'll get like
aluminum
3.
trays.
I'll get like 3 servings, and I don't even give a shit.
Oh, I'll fuck it up until somebody stops me. I even like it cold.
Big servings. Yeah, and then if you know the family, sometimes they'll just like give you some to take home. I think we've done that.
Okay, here's one of these is
God,
know
that
what
sent me back. Sorry.
you know what question you're really being asked when someone wants to know where you went to high school. But what is that question?
Can you repeat that?
You know what question you're really being asked when someone wants to know where you went to high school?
Like if you were poor or not?
Yeah, that's how I always interpret it. Is like, did your parents love you or did you go somewhere sketchy?
Ooh, if that's the base behind that, that totally makes sense.
Like, did you go to a nice private school, or did you live in a nice expensive neighborhood, or are you just like, are you supposed to be digging ditches somewhere?
Here's my whole thing about that question, though. Anyway, real quick, the people that like ask you what high school you went to, and then you tell them, and it's not a big deal, but then they're like, "Oh, do you know this person?"
Oh,
and I was like, "Fucking maybe." I don't know. I don't remember half the people I went to high school with. Unfortunately,
Right.
my ADHD is making me lose memories. It's horrible. I saw a TikTok about it. I'm devastated.
Have you ever bumped into former Mayor Slay?
I went to Mayor Slay's New Year's Eve or Mardi Gras ball.
Mardi Gras Ball. The
Ball.
Mardi Ball.
No, Mardi Gras ball. Sorry.
Mardi
That
Gras
was
Ball.
harder to say than
Mardi
it needed to be.
Gras ball.
Shut up. Okay, his Mardi Gras ball or whatever. It was Mayor Slay's ball. I remember I went to one of those. That was weird. I didn't like the vibe. There was that El Montero fucking Led Zeppelin cover band
Yeah.
and some lady with a very tall head fixture. It's fine. It was an interesting experience. I'm glad I had it.
Yeah. That's great. I love that.
Wait, why were we talking? We were talking about Mayor Slay. What was your thing about Slay?
That was just one of the things. You've been in St. Louis too long if you run into him. I've never run into him.
Oh shit, we're still on that list. I thought
Yeah.
you moved on.
No. That was just stuff in that list. I've moved on now.
Oh, okay.
But I saw Lyda Cruzum's at the goddamn Richmond Heights Schnooks.
Gross.
I know.
I hate that Schnooks.
She had like a bodyguard, but maybe not her husband. Older guy.
That's interesting.
Jessica Clark is being asked to resign from the Rockwood School Board after apparently doing like some kind of stand-up comedy at an event hosted by a local conservative talk radio where she repeatedly uses and defends herself using the word and calling parents of disabled students libtards. A woman of color doing stand-up saying libtard over and over was the kind of gist of the clip that I watched, and it was a weird juxtaposition of things.
Yeah. That's not acceptable.
It's not okay.
It's not good.
And it's troubling, and I don't know, maybe that she connected that libtard includes, part of a word that is maybe inappropriate for someone in her position to use, maybe inappropriate for all people
in
to
reference
use.
to parents of disabled children,
Yeah.
which is just a strange way to use that. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Well, and that's a troubling place.
Oh, sure.
The southwestern county school districts have a lot of toxic ideology that kind of fueled them, driven by kind of the original like Chamber of Commerce types from those regions, even before the intensity of the suburbanization of them. So there's a lot of Mike Parsons type dudes out there kind of running things, even though we think of them as like the normal suburbs now. It's still South County, guys. You got to be careful. You got to make sure. You got to look into the ideology of the superintendent of your school that your kids go to.
Conveniently, I study that topic quite often.
You want to, if you're going to send your kids to a school district, you want to make sure that the superintendent hasn't publicly said or done anything that would bother you.
I actually don't study that topic. I was trying.
Well,
to
you don't
find-
have children. But I'm saying if you crank a couple out, you're going to pick a school. Make sure that you kind of like the vibe at least.
What is the best school district in St. Louis area now? Is it Lindbergh?
No.
Is it is it Webster?
That's probably up there. I don't think that's number one. I think Clayton does really well.
Oh, I'm sure them and Ladue probably.
Ladue does pretty great.
Ladue.
Kirkwood always does great.
Ah, sure.
What is all that noise?
Something's vibrating.
In the house?
Yeah, it sounds like it's over that way, like towards your window. Is it a fan? Is there like a radiator or something back there?
There's some stuff that was plugged in over here that maybe could be humming, but I seriously felt like that we were taken off into space.
Like a vibration? That's weird.
That's great. Good. I'm hoping it was like heavy construction happening just outside my window when I'm trying to do this.
Well, moving on.
Oh God! So look that up. Jessica Clark, Rockwood. Good for her. She'll probably get a promotion in a shittier district where people care a little bit less. That's probably what'll happen. I have a lot of trauma from my work experience.
You do.
It's crazy, but what I witnessed, what people get away with. Minor forcibly taken to notorious Agape school or Agape school in Missouri. I don't know how to say that.
AGAP.
Mother arrested after the unlawfully detained minor endured 1,700-mile drive in handcuffs. So they like abducted him and like took him to this school as probably as some kind of a punishment. He was probably doing something. And apparently this place is notorious for this kind of thing. Like it's kind of like a boarding, like rehab school, but it's really questionable in their like behavior or something.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot.
It's a nightmare. People are still doing that. That's what I'm saying. Missouri, guys.
Kids are being snatched up left and right. It's horrible.
Just remember where you're at. You got to be careful. You got to watch out.
You want to talk about that other one that we were talking about earlier?
Which one?
The one with the girl that got kidnapped?
Yeah,
and then...
you had a couple things you had sent me.
Goodness gracious.
What, let me pull up. I got one of them.
Well, that's not even the one that I sent you.
You sent me a couple of things.
But in reference to people didn't take place against their will, this girl's being charged $150,000 or something, or fined that as like...
Trigger warning.
Yes. And they're fining her or whatever instead of like sending her to prison for murder for killing her rapist. She got abducted and raped multiple times, and then she got a moment and she took it and she killed him. And now she's got to pay money to his fucking family.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's just some weird fucking shit.
Here's my thing, and I think you were saying that there's some... I wish I had the article. That there's some question about... Like, she stabbed him a whole bunch of times, but doesn't that make sense to you?
I mean, if I was raped multiple times...
Well, and you don't... I mean, if you're in that situation, you seize that opportunity to defend yourself, it's like, I don't know that you're going to just stop until you know for sure that, you know, you're safe.
No, yeah, and I'm, you know, obviously there was anger and emotions and all behind that as well, other than just survival.
Understandably.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
But so, you know, if she stabbed him like 30 times, she stabbed him like 30 times. I don't think that's all worth all this bullshit. Ooh, but I found an update on that just like a few minutes ago.
What?
Someone did a GoFundMe for her or something and raised like $330,000.
Well, I would have thrown her $20, but she hit her goal. So she you know what? So like a salam.
What?
So like a salam, brother. Shabbat shalom. Glory to God.
Yeah, okay. All right.
What was the CNN thing? Was I think?
Oh, you want to talk about the thing from South Korea?
No, hold on.
Because that's a really interesting thing.
Newly obtained surveillance video shows fake Trump elector escorted operatives into Georgia County's elections office before voting machine breach. Ugh, I don't know that I want to talk about the election that already happened 1,000 years ago, but this was a news story that broke. I mean, you could look that up. You don't give a shit about that.
Ugh. Don't even get me started.
Georgia didn't they do like they redid the vote in Georgia? Wasn't that what happened?
I think they were demanding some sort of a recount.
Shirley Manson is 56, so I must be 111. Shirley Manson from Garbage. She did "The World Is Not Enough."
Oh shit! Did she really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I knew you would know who she was. You dumb box of shit.
Yeah, I just I'm uncultured.
Oh, what was the other thing you sent me? The Safety Act in Illinois. This is great.
That's fucking stupid.
Well, so here's what's happening. The Safety Act in Illinois is a prison bail reform. I want just the. So what they're doing is non-detainable offenses: aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing, arson, burglary, drug-induced homicide, intimidation, kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, threatening a public official. What that means is they'll book you for these crimes, but they will not hold you for bail, is what I understand to be the intention. And it's, I'm assuming an attempt by the legislature to address the issue of cash bail being, you know, an insensitive practice or whatever. I think this is an interesting collection of charges, though, to start with.
Was it chemical-induced homicide?
Drug-induced homicide is one of those.
That's crazy.
So
it's
I
like
think
second-degree murder is one of them.
Like if I smoke a bunch of crack and I kill you, they'll lock me up, book me, they'll let me clean up a little bit, and then they'll let me go, and I'll come back for trial.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of dumb. I don't know, actually. You know, I don't know how I feel about the prison system with all that shit. But it's just kind of like, we'll just encourage worse behavior in citizens if they want to.
Well,
like, I don't know.
Really what it needs, the correct use of prisons is supposed to be for a small percentage of your population that are too dangerous to be left on the street, etc. Now, the problem is too many of our population were included in that percentage, so they're really trying to readjust. Because if we just put everybody in prison for a crime that they commit, we're going to fill them up too quickly. So I think they're trying to reprioritize, making sure only the most dangerous people that actually need to allocate those resources for imprisonment actually end up doing so. Now,
well, that in Illinois is broke. It's a broke-ass state.
Right. And, certainly, But so, I mean, part of the problem is, there's got to be some way where we don't have to just fill up our jails every weekend and hold everybody there until somebody puts up the deed for their house to let them out until trial. Like, what if... I just think it's a weird list of categories to start with. But maybe they've already decriminalized other things to the point where non-detainable offenses would only include things that are questionable like this.
Oh, that's exhausting just thinking about it. And, it's going to cause a whole bunch of shit. I guarantee it.
Oh, it's already...
There's going to be just a big old increase in shit.
It's going to... Wow. People are calling it the Purge.
Yeah, I don't know why they're calling it that. It's not really like that.
Here's my thing. Is people are going to say... The drug-induced homicide thing is definitely the most interesting to me. Because how do you prove that a homicide is drug-induced when the difference is letting someone go without bail until trial or making them post bail before trial? You know what I mean? Like, how do you determine drug induced
homicide?
But how do you determine that a homicide is drug induced? Because that's the difference.
Like,
if it was just homicide, they would lock you up. They would
evidence of poisoning and the autopsy. I don't know. But that means you could poison your spouse's food. You could maybe they deserve it.
Is that what that means?
But it's I don't. Well, I think it's like that, or incidental overdose.
I thought drug induced homicide meant that I'm on drugs and I kill somebody.
Oh, I was playing that out in my head more like
you were
you're killing someone with drugs.
No, I don't think. If you're sober and you kill somebody with drugs, I think you're going to stay in the jail.
So this is literally homicide committed while you're fucked up.
While the killer is on drugs.
That's...
Well, that was just my assumption.
Not how I was understanding that, but that totally makes more sense now, doesn't it?
Good God.
I thought they meant death by poisoning. That's what I thought they meant.
So that's all happening.
Death by poisoning. And
then... Capitol Records severs ties with AI rapper FN Mecca after N-word backlash because none of his creators are black.
But isn't he black? Didn't he come out on TikTok or something and be like, I don't know
the AI rapper? I believe his illustration is often depicting black. Yeah, sure.
No, who voices him though?
It's AI. I don't know that
it's completely AI. It's not
it?
Just somebody that has an avatar that they have on a computer and they just use that because they don't like showing their face that much.
Yeah, I don't think it's a voice actor that said it. It's the AI is generating the rap. But his but what's his? You're asking what's his?
I thought there was someone that used his he was the voice of this rapper, blah, blah, but it's all a digital creation as well. Yeah.
So the
character. I don't know.
The character is definitely black.
Well, yeah.
A statement: the record company issued an apology to the black community for not asking enough
The problem
questions.
is that the writers aren't, and that's the big issue. Right? Because it's just can't write that stuff.
Oh, his Instagram went private. His recent single got taken down.
That's upsetting.
Do
you want to talk about that thing in South Korea?
According to Genius News' Jacques Morel, those tracks were reportedly voiced by real-life rapper Kyle the Hooligan, but the artist did not go on record to confirm his contribution to the songs. Who is Kyle the Hooligan? If Kyle the Hooligan is white, I'm upset.
I really can't tell from
Kyle
name.
the Hooligan is not white. So, not that makes it okay for a team of white AI contributors to profit off of a cartoon using the N-word. But
yeah, that could put a bad taste.
But
nope.
I mean, if it was the black guy's, if it was Kyle the Hooligan's voice contributing, It's maybe slightly less terrible. It better not. They better not have some white kid up there saying it. They better not.
Oh, I hope not. I hate
for
when I
their
stumble
sake-
across those videos of young people trying to rap, and it's
No.
like, hold on, don't do that. No,
please don't.
please
Don't. Please don't say the whole thing. Ozzy Osbourne swore off acid after talking to a horse for an hour.
Like, is this legit?
That is a story he told. He's doing something. He keeps popping off.
He's got Parkinson's, so I bet he's trying to live it up like he can.
So, but he's like, yeah, he's doing like the Quincy Jones thing, like just saying weird soundbite stuff for people all the time. He must be planning something. But he also isn't he moving? Didn't he say he's moving back to England because he doesn't want to get shot? Because people are shooting everybody out here.
He has like a humongous property out in the middle of the woods.
That's
or something.
the thing. You'd have to be a good shot to hit Ozzy Osbourne from the street. On his
Yeah,
property.
no one's gonna approach his home. No way.
He's
up
scared.
there
English
with
people
Sharon,
English people, in my experience, are more afraid of guns than Americans.
and he's got Parkinson's.
I know an English guy, and he's like physically has a physical reaction when he sees even a gun on a police officer in a Quick Trip. Like he gets upset.
That's so interesting, but they are definitely not as exposed to that just on the day to day.
But
they are.
the Osbournes own guns. On the Osbourne show that we used to watch on MTV, they had that country house, and Jack and his friends would shoot guns when they weren't supposed to. It happened all the time.
Yeah, but that probably made Ozzy mad anyway because he was probably a little bit more sensitive about it.
Yeah.
Ozzy.
The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences will formally apologize to Native American civil rights activist Sacheen Littlefeather for her treatment at the 1973 Oscar ceremony. During the now historic evening, Littlefeather took the stage in place of Marlon Brando and, at his request, declined his award, using the time to instead draw attention to the stereotyping of Native Americans in films and TV, as well as the South Dakota Wounded Knee protest. Instead of praising her insight, the audience and individuals backstage booed and heckled the activist, who was later threatened with assault and arrest.
Jesus.
So, and then the Academy is just now apologizing 49 years later.
That's very upsetting.
But I'm glad. I'm glad they waited for everyone that was there to be dead, and then they apologized, because it's not a good look moving forward. And when we're going to be awarding, awards to a bunch of CGI superhero movies that white kids make, I'm glad that we can have this off our conscience. You would recognize the screenshot if you look this up, because you would recognize that she's a not Native American lady in a traditionally, as to be expected, Native American sort of garb, feather and whatnot, some sort of a traditional thing. And then she,
That's horrible.
Marlon Brando was upset, and he tried. I'm okay with Marlon.
Oh,
Brando
is this the whole thing where Marlon Brando had the lady accept the Oscar for him?
Right?
Or
I
decline
just
it?
described all this.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. I thought it was a completely different story.
No. And so, but good. They officially apologized 49 years later.
49 years.
I keep hearing some rumors that HBO Max is in trouble again because they're merging with Discovery Plus or something, but I really think HBO is going to be okay, especially with the Game of Thrones thing. HBO is the original premium content.
They also own DC.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah. I mean, they're going to stay alive.
Yeah. Now, the interesting thing is whether or not people give a shit about monopolies. That's the more interesting issue here. Because obviously streaming is overly fragmented right now. Nobody's making any money, and shows just aren't getting watched because they're all behind paywalls that people aren't interested in. So this merging is going to happen, but I don't know. I don't know how the streaming platforms start making money, because to get the premium content, it's expensive.
I don't really even know what Discovery Plus is bringing to the table. I'm just going to say it.
Oh, but whoever owns Discovery Plus, I mean, it's probably, they're merging. It's like an umbrella of...
Yeah, I think they're marrying up. I don't think that they're going to hold their own on when it comes to the comparisons there. HBO's got some good shit.
Well, that's the thing.
Did you watch the last season of Barry?
No.
Oh. Magnifico. Also, they got good movies on there. They got movies on there you can't find on the other streaming services. Fuck Netflix. I'm so sick of Netflix.
Yeah, I've been watching some Netflix, but I get so sick of it.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, do I want to watch something dumb that I watched maybe 20 years ago, or do I want to watch this show that looks boring? And it's just, I'm so fucking sick of it.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like HBO has a really broad spectrum of good content.
And HBO content's been good for a really long time. I
mean,
mean,
they got stuff on there that you forgot existed.
I mean, when we were kids, the most talked about TV shows were HBO.
Oh yeah, but that was when it was like just a channel.
Well, before it was a channel, it was like a separate box you would attach to your TV. It was like its own platform before that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like
That's wild.
Like before, it was just integrated into
shows my age.
cable. Yeah. Well, yeah. No, it was. It's. I don't. That's a weird way to use that. Q Lazarus, cult favorite behind Goodbye Horses, who disappeared for decades, dead at 61.
That is very sad.
She was working on a documentary about her life and died sort of suddenly. I don't think it was COVID related. I think she had like a chronic lung condition, if I remember correctly. She was like a bus driver for a long time. She never actually ended up doing an album. She just had those few songs that were in that guy's movies.
Poor thing.
I know. R.I.P.
61.
Yeah, we've celebrated her on the show before, and now she's dead. And I just I want her to know that I love her music, and I'll see her soon.
No, you won't.
In the ether.
No, you won't. You got more time.
When I meditate, I mean.
Don't you tell me.
I meant when I meditate. I didn't mean I'm going to die.
Good.
I meant I'm gonna.
It would kill your mother.
Oh, I know. I know.
You can't do that to her.
Speaking of this guy's poor mom, Ezra Miller, what's going on?
Jeez, I don't know.
This whole past 6 weeks that we haven't done a show, every other day it's like a new thing about. He's got like culty like communes all over the world that he's like in charge of, which I don't even know why he has time for that. But apparently the Flash is still on. That's still happening.
What? There's no fucking way.
He like pulled it together to go into Warner Brothers and talk to them and like. But then he's like going on TikTok and like threatening specific branches of the KKK, and there have been allegations that like he like punched a lady at a bar in like,
ow, shit,
in like Europe or something. It's like all over the place.
Wasn't it Hawaii?
He was in Hawaii, but he was also in like Amsterdam or something and got in trouble for something.
That's fucking weird.
I know.
Why is that kid so stressed out?
I don't. Well, it's got to be hard.
I don't know his
famous,
life,
but he seems like such a talent. And I just, he's obviously not adjusting correctly. And I hope somebody reaches out and touches that man's spirit.
I thought you were just going to stop at man.
I hope they reaches
out and touch that man.
He's actually, they are actually non-binary.
Or are they really?
Individual. And so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I just realized that after I said that. And so, just to correct that on the spot. So, and obviously this is all, not because of any element of transition or identity, but it's certainly like they are struggling kind of across the board with adjusting to the new reality of their life, I think. And who knows, maybe he lost somebody, maybe somebody in his life died, that'll make you crazy.
Maybe it's drugs. Who knows?
It's definitely some drugs. There's definitely some drugs around and involved.
Can't not be.
Mar-a-Lago got raided.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
This has happened since the last time we did a show. Likely concealed and removed. Classified documents. A Trump residence.
What a fucking moron.
It's just dangerous. I don't care what they were. It's unsafe.
Just, ugh.
What
a dingbat.
Steven Seagal's trying to start World War III. He's a Russian spokesman, pushes the conspiracy that Ukrainians massacred themselves on Russian TV. Dude, we got a picture of Steven Seagal on Russian TV. Look at him.
Oh, God. Look at him.
Look at him. It looks like a do-rag on a rotisserie chicken.
It really does, actually. He has the same shape as the bust of the chicken.
If you put Samuel L. Jackson's kangaroo hat on the turkey from Thanksgiving, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Not a little fatter.
Pudgier. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But he still knows mind powers and kung fu.
Oh, he's been flying helicopters for 37 years.
Yeah, and he can flip you with his brain.
He will kick you in the neck. He's got the best hair plugs, usually.
He still wears the do-rags. That's why he's covering it up.
Yeah, well, maybe they're ratty.
Man.
Dallas town area teachers authorize a strike a week before school year to begin. Let's look at this. Oh, Christ.
What is this?
I don't know where
what
this
is. Repeat yourself.
Dallas town area teachers authorize a strike a week before the school year begins. They reach a tentative agreement. Our teachers have spoken loud and clear. Blah, blah, blah. This was before the first day of school, August 25th. They had previously taken a wage freeze and healthcare concessions that saved the district money. Our members are not willing to take yet another cut in their overall compensation. Yeah. I mean, I'm so glad that everyone else quit the same time I did, because I was quitting anyway.
Yeah, it all just sounds really bad right now.
But now, does it seem like I'm not so crazy because everyone else is quitting too?
Well, I mean, everyone's quitting all over the place. There's this thing going on right now with the railroad system. Did you hear about this?
I did not hear about this.
The railroad system, they're striking potentially tomorrow because their contract's up with the union and they're getting stuff, realigned and everything and signing a new contract, and there's some
renegotiated.
Renegotiated. Sorry. I'm just kind of just going off memory here. But no, yeah, I mean, it was about like they altered sick days and stuff, but they didn't overcompensation with pay. Sick days, vacation days, things like that. They increased the number, but they changed something else. They're being very specific about like time and stuff.
Yeah.
And all these people are on call like 24/7, 365. And, I mean, 10 weeks of vacation and then like 2 weeks of sick leave or something like that yearly for these people that are on call 24/7. Like, that's crazy. So, I mean, they're kind of in the right to strike, but it could fuck up a lot of moving of freight. A lot of things are probably going to be out in stores and prices are going to go up on some things. It could have goes a whole fucking issue.
Yeah.
Because then the whole transporting of goods across the country is primarily, plane and road. And that's just very complicated to make that the sole carrier.
Yeah, that would be, we need the trains. We got to pay people for the trains. I've said for a long time, I think shipping is probably too cheap, especially for how much we use it right now. Oh, God.
I felt like I was ranting. Was I ranting?
No. I mean, the labor thing is, I mean, you switched careers during or after the pandemic.
I did, yeah.
Actually
into logistics, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah, and which is crazy because, I didn't think you would want to do something like that.
I enjoy it.
I'm glad.
Yeah, there's the good days and the bad days, but mostly good days.
Mostly good days.
Yeah.
I've been really thinking that this is something that I need to share, that I've been really working on for myself. Like, that the idea that things can be good, and a lot of things are good, in spite of ever surmounting evil all around us. Do you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Like, we can have really lovely moments and experiences and relationships, even though there's so much bad stuff.
Well, I mean, you got to appreciate what you got. Everything's horrible all the time anyway.
Yeah, and I've really felt like that since 9/11. And maybe that's my generation bias.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just all the numbers are fucked up. There's too many people on the planet. A lot of things are based on like greed and like capitalism, and it's horrible. And it's just kind of like, really, do you want to look at that and let it ruin your day, or do you want to go home and have dinner with your wife?
With my wife! My wife! And like, for example, people are alleging that Trump could try to start some kind of civil war with the stolen documents he stole and then, hid or whatever.
I'm just gonna move to Utah.
I had a really good chicken sandwich for dinner. That chicken sandwich was beautiful. It was cooked perfectly.
The one from
the Burger 809.
The Burger 809.
It was so lovely that Trump can't take that from me.
What kind of chicken sandwich was it?
It was a grilled chicken breast that had been marinated in like Frank's Red Hot, and then it was on a Red Hot riblet dusted brioche bun.
Cool.
And I went deluxe: pickle, onion, tomato, lettuce.
You got it.
There was pepper jack cheese, and I had the sriracha avocado ranch with that.
Sweet Jesus.
And then they have the Ken's Steakhouse honey mustard, which is a premium honey mustard that I do with the fries.
Is it like $2?
I don't know. They hooked me up there.
I'm joking.
So
did you get fries or onion rings?
I always get fries.
Have you had their onion rings?
Oh, they're very good.
They are very good.
If I'm not super hungry, instead of doing a sandwich, I'll do fries and onion rings.
I was spending an unnecessary amount of money there when I worked at Bluewood.
Yeah, it's good, and
it's
I always get a
good
discount. And I went there even though I wasn't hosting trivia last week, because I had to play that gig at the Heavy Hangar. I went there and had dinner beforehand.
Nice, that's funny.
Because what else am I going to eat? This is what I eat on Thursdays.
We didn't talk about that. I saw you that day.
Maybe I should run for president.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
With like maybe like big like teacher coming back after having a substitute energy.
Ooh, that's aggressive.
I think that's what
That fucked me up just now. Oh my god.
Don't we need somebody that's going to come in and be like, guys, I was gone for a week. What have you been doing?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be cool if that could get handled in some way. But
And it doesn't have to be me, but if somebody could run with that energy.
How old do you have to be to run?
35.
35.
I'm 31.
No, you're good. You're getting there.
I could do, what's after 24? 28?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 24 is going to be next. I say we start the grassroots.
Oh my god, you're gonna have so much content online for them to use against you while you're running.
No, I stand by everything I've ever said on this show.
This very podcast could be brought up and saying it's controversial because, well, 15, 20 minutes ago we were talking about rape.
You brought it up and it was a headline and we're advocates for that victim.
Just people can hold stuff again. The media can twist shit around on you so quick.
I didn't even make a joke about that story.
I was running for governor last week and you know what happened?
They pulled up one of these?
They pulled up one of my Facebook posts from 2013. Oh.
What'd you say?
No, I'm just joking. I don't know. You ever have Facebook memories and it's just kind of like, you posted this. And,
you know what?
And you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Was I having a hard time?
Yeah. Early on, there were things I had tweeted or posted on Facebook that I wasn't proud of. That obviously were underdeveloped, but never in a way that I felt like was like super insensitive. Just more, just there's words we don't use anymore.
And you say some dumb shit in your early 20s, you know? And we had access to posting that shit. Just, how were you feeling today on Facebook? Oh, my God.
But now that Time Hop has allowed me to go back and delete some of those things, I currently, as of this date, stand by everything you can find by me online.
I really should do that. I really should go through and clean the system. I mean, I've probably never said anything bad, but
that would be the worst.
It's kind of like sad, open.
If I ran for president and you were like my Hunter Biden, and they were like, this dude used to drink Malort in Kansas City and he punched my grandma, and I'm like, whoa.
That might have happened. I don't know why I had Malort in Kansas City though.
Last time we were in Kansas City together, we had Malort. That's the only reason I thought of that.
We were in Chicago, weren't we?
We also did that in Kansas City.
I don't remember Malort being in Kansas City.
What's the other thing that's like that?
But then again, like the 2 times or 3 times you came to visit me out there, I think I got really drunk all 3 times.
We bombed out, sister.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was Nagasaki.
That last one with Record Bar was kind of crazy.
That Record Bar night was nuts. I still have scar tissue in my liver from that.
Jesus Christ.
They're like shrapnel. You know what I mean? Have you noticed this? That I really feel like a big swath of like white cisgendered men are really lost right now.
About what?
They're just like culturally, I don't feel like they know what they're doing or what they're supposed to do, and they just seem like they don't know how to talk to people. Like there are these vagabonds that I sometimes see at the Heavy Anchor who are
It's a great word. I love vagabond.
And they're
also a good Wolfmother song.
They're there alone, and they'll just start talking to anyone that gets near them about whatever they feel like talking about, whether or not they know that person or that person has any like interest in that topic. Some guy was there at the show and he was telling the bartender all about he wants to design an app, and I'm like, this is like, I'm waiting on a pizza and you're talking about
what kind of app?
I don't even remember. Like some kind of, I don't know.
You got to remember. You got to remember a little bit of it. I want to hear this guy's pitch.
I was trying to get away from it. I was doing my Tourette's thing where he was talking and I didn't like the vibe, and so I was like,
and then you twitch.
No.
I've seen you twitch.
I do this to myself, like at that volume. And he's going on like, well, what if the app, you could link up with locals and you could like meet up and then everyone would already know all the stuff that you needed.
Now, see, if you applied one good topic to that whole base that you just gave me right there, that'd be a wonderful thing. I would totally, I would invest.
Can you, while I go pee, can you talk to me about apps?
Oh, that is a horrible topic to leave me on.
Can you talk to me about Vagabonds at the Heavy Anchor?
I mean, I like going to the Heavy Anchor because you do see a good variety of people.
So, but what do you notice about like people that like don't know where they fit in the world?
Well, there's a lot of people in the world. A lot of people probably don't know where they fit. Sometimes people have the, the money to finance moving to a place, and like that's great for them, but sometimes they don't. So sometimes you get weirdos, and sometimes you get people that crash on couches or sleep in their car and bounce around and figure out a situation to shower every once in a while. And, they're trying to like save as much money as they can because they aren't as well off, I guess, unfortunately. It's kind of shitty. There's not a more even level of distribution and all that kind of shit, but it's fine. I mean, it's not fine. This is a weird topic to lead me on, the Vagabond thing. He'll be back. It's fine. But also, Vagabond by Wolfmother. Good song. I like that whole album, actually. And then,
Are you just mumbling?
no, it's just, actually, I've met a lot of nice Vagabond-type people. There's this one guy specifically that comes to mind, and he's fucking great and authentic. And I'm like, you know what, man? You enjoy sleeping in your car and doing whatever you're doing. He's a good guy.
Is it Crazy Mike?
No. Jesus Christ. No, it's not Crazy Mike. I hate working at places. I'm so glad I'm not in the industry anymore, because working at places and someone like Crazy Mike comes up and you just don't know what to do right away.
And anonymously, don't you have any friends who are like kind of like single, kind of just spinning their wheels, kind of don't have anything on the horizon, and they just seem really lost and like destinationless?
Is that what you were really talking about? Because, yeah, I mean, sure, you see people that are just kind of living day to day and spending their money on the things that they spend it on. I sure as shit have not been the best with my money, especially in my 20s. And yeah, so it's easy to get lost in a situation like this where you feel like you're fucked. Like, it's just this double-edged sword society that we live in. It's just kind of like, I could do this, but it's bad. And I could do this, but it's good to them, but still bad for me. And then you're stuck in this fucking loop, and everything's so exhausting all around you that you put 100% of your energy in just getting by, and there is no emotional or mental capacity for you to actually go forward with any goals that you did set for yourself, because the society we're living in right now could be so fucking frustrating and exhausting and draining. And so, yeah, I think that there's probably actually a large portion of the St. Louis city population, especially, that I think I've met even a lot of people that just kind of like, you wonder, like, what's your next step? I don't know. I sure as shit.
That's interesting.
I'm just winging it. I'm shooting from the hip. Like, with my lifestyle right now, I've just made a big change. I'm still trying to adjust, but like, I don't know. It's just kind of like, what do you do when you don't know what the hell to do in the world that you're looking at every day?
What do you do when you don't know what to do?
Yeah. I mean, especially with all this access we have to the media now, and just this horrible fucking things happening all over the goddamn place all the time. It's just tiring to look at that. And then you try to stimulate yourself with like TikTok or fucking Instagram or something, and then you go to work, and then you're fucking just disgustingly tired.
But you have more.
And then sometimes you drink about it because you're depressed, and then that fucks up the whole cycle for the next day.
But you have more going on than the people I'm talking about, because you're in a relationship and you're like, stacking your bands up, and you're trying to develop, your life with another person and whatnot. And like, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about people that maybe don't have that.
I thought you were talking.
Like,
you were definitely talking about.
Imagine that you were single and you lived on your own. Maybe you had a roommate and you were still bartending and you had no idea what you were going to do next. What do we do with those people? What do those people need?
I mean, I had that for a moment. I was living in a shitty little shotgun-style apartment in South City, and I worked in Maryland Heights, and I worked nights at a hospital, and I just kind of like did that for a while. I'd work out a few times a week.
That's nice.
I'd go to like bars on Grand way more than I should because I worked evenings. Or my nights off, I would just be up really fucking late because I couldn't sleep. And yeah, so I mean, I wasn't really upset with it, but I sure as shit wasn't giving myself any drive towards anything else. And I think that's very easy to fall into. I mean, look at it. There's too many people.
Is that part of the problem? And you also noted, you mentioned as a region, you noticed this as an issue, like locally, that like you're talking about.
Oh, I'm sure it's all over the place, but in St. Louis, I definitely see what you're talking about.
But do you think there's places where it's not as common?
I
feel like
probably like Colorado. I mean, I know there's a lot of homeless people, and that's very sad. But like when it comes to like that idea that you're talking about, I bet those people get outside, get more active. They drive their Subarus to the, to Red Rocks and they run the steps, even though
What?
it's not a show. I've seen it.
Red Rocks.
Yep, they'll drive out to Red Rocks and they'll like do a shit ton of cardio and stuff on the giant steps. And I watched it happen. And those people, they're probably doing stuff and making moves.
You think
They're
they're
not.
moving?
It's the high altitude. It's that fresh air. It's probably the legal weed. Let's be honest. But yeah, also they just got those mountains and foothills and the rivers and shit, all that cool stuff.
Foothills, huh?
Foothills.
I haven't been.
Colorado?
Yeah, I've been meaning to go.
I've always wanted to go check out Fort Collins. I've never been. But
We have cousins there. We should go. We've probably talked about this before.
Oh, maybe that's what the original idea was. Yeah, our cousins. Because they're still in Fort Collins. They got good breweries there. It's a college town. It might just have good shit. You never know.
Yeah, her husband works in like a wind tunnel. He does like studies or measurements for, at least that's the last time I checked. That could have been.
I don't know why that made me imagine being in a. No, I thought he was part of the architectural design of making taller buildings more aerodynamic.
Doesn't he do that in a wind tunnel?
Is that how they test it? They stand in. I imagine him with like goggles and a
clipboard.
white lab coat and a clipboard.
Yeah.
And it's blowing his lab coat back.
His cheeks are pulled away from his teeth.
Yeah. His hair's just kind of blasted. Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, this building's gonna be fine."
Yeah. Imagine that's your job. Fuck.
I hope it actually is.
I love the idea of thinking about his job as that, because that just gives a really good visual.
We should. Yeah, we'll send him this.
Oh, we should call out. Do you have any artists that are currently watching your stream?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got Jay Dilla. We got Cab Gerfson.
Yeah, any one of them. If they just want to draw up the idea of our cousin,
Carson usually catches
tall,
these.
skinny guy, curly hair.
Carson could compose a little something.
She could make. Oh, she's met our cousin. 100%.
Yeah, she knows what he looks like.
Because she's also our cousin.
Just him in a wind tunnel
That would be fantastic.
with his cheeks blown off his teeth because he's pretending to be a building.
Blowing off his teeth.
But
But yeah, no, Fort Collins seems cool. But also, there's other great places in Colorado. But really, we were talking about that other idea where it was just kind of like the amount of people that kind of just don't have any direction in their life because they're going through the motions.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's easy to get caught into a routine that then you're comfortable with, and breaking out of a comfortable place is always a difficult thing to do, unless you're generally dissatisfied with your current situation.
That's true. Easier. That's a thing too. That sometimes a lifestyle situation can get so bad that leaving it is actually really nice.
It can be, but also it can be fucking stressful. I've changed jobs multiple times in the last few years, and every single time I stress myself out so badly.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I know I'm not the only person out there functioning with ADHD and anxiety and depression and shit. It's hard to make changes because going out of your comfort zone is a fucking bitch. But sometimes it's so rewarding.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thanks.
So, wow, going out of your comfort zone is a bitch.
Yep.
But sometimes it can be so rewarding.
Yeah, we should make a bumper sticker.
It's kind of a lot of words. Maybe
It's
like
one of those long, skinny ones.
Maybe like a motivational tapestry.
That seems a lot because you got to hang it somewhere.
Have we talked about that the Queen died?
Who fucking cares?
Oh, that's hurtful.
Oh my God, she was 90 fucking 2 years old or some shit.
Thousands line up to pay their respects. There's thousands of people in line.
Also, a lot of bad shit happened while that lady was the queen.
Well,
weren't her sons like fucking sexually assaulting people or something?
Oh yeah, at least one of them.
And then she was like getting that shit covered up. And
oh yeah, hell yeah. There's that picture of her.
Isn't Charles her cousin?
I don't know. Oh, her husband is her first cousin. Yeah,
that's fucking weird too. I don't care about the bloodline. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. First cousin, very first.
She was born like 1920 something.
Yeah, also true.
Jesus.
And like, there's that picture of her on the exact same porch as Ghislaine and Epstein.
Yeah, that's the Meadows from the Pentaveret.
Oh no, is it really?
Yeah, that's where they're all meeting up. Unfortunately, I guess they have those eyes wide shut parties, and it gets all weird.
Oh my God, I just watched that movie this week.
Did you really?
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's not about anything.
Not really.
What is that movie about? Why?
It's been long enough for me that
why
I don't
would
care
Nicole
enough to talk about
Kidman
it.
let Stanley Kubrick just do that to her? She's naked throughout the whole first 30 minutes of that movie.
That's a whole thing.
You're a young, successful actress. This legendary director who made some genius material says, hey, what if you and your husband are just like naked in my movie? And then you got to do all that. Maybe she was fine with it. I don't know. But it was just like, I didn't think it enhanced the art form at all. I think there's nudity that can be like artistic and can help like tell the story and create an effect in a way that you want. I don't feel like that movie did any of that.
I will tell you what movie really was more influential to that whole medium. I said influential.
I think.
Wait, don't cut me off. He's just fucking. I didn't even say influential. I said influential. Never mind. It's fine.
I want to know what movie did that better because it's so crazy you would say that because I just watched that movie this week and I thought it was terrible.
I was gonna say a movie that's horrible and doesn't make any sense as a joke, but this whole became a thing because
like
you cut me off. You irritated me. I was gonna say Zombievers. Have you ever seen Zombievers? I
love Zombievers. I watched that. I watched that this year already.
There are more people that tell you that will tell you that they love Zombievers than there are people that will tell you that they love Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, good. You got that out.
Boom, got it.
And there were so many things that the movie was so.
Sorry, I'm tired.
It was so beautifully shot, and like the cinematography was great, but the dialogue was lazy, and I don't even know how any of the stuff that I saw communicated on screen made the cut. And then it was a lot of gratuitous nudity. But also the vibes were always eerie and weird, and so it was. I don't know. It just wasn't fun. It was. I mean,
maybe it just wasn't supposed to be fun.
And it was a different time. That movie's over 30 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, or is almost 30 years old or something. It's old.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole.
And so the Queen died, and Eyes Wide Shut is not worth watching if you haven't watched it because you were too young to watch it when it came out.
Man, we really got away from the topic.
And what else?
We almost need to have a third person here just to keep us on topic.
Oh, this is from today, from Politico. Trump warns of problems like we've never seen if he's indicted. So he's
the fuck does that mean? What's he gonna do?
That means he stole some documents and he thinks he's got some secret shit and he's pouting and he's throwing a fit, and if he gets indicted, he's acting like he's gonna gaslight somebody. Or
what a child!
He's gonna whistle blow something.
Do you think this is all an act? Like, do you think he's deliberately like being this fucking dumb and childish and just ridiculous all the time, or do you think he's actually just that nuts?
I do think he's actually that nuts.
That's wild.
I
feel like, what if he's being paid billions of dollars to just like act that way, like some sort of
I don't think he would
distraction, like a fucking jester on a stage while the other people do all the bad shit.
You know who's paying Donald Trump billions of dollars to act like that? Donald Trump.
Yeah,
he's got it already.
Fucking wild.
It's insane.
I don't get it.
It's I was so in denial about it that it was even possible. I was living in this just world mindset, my therapist says, where I thought, oh, of course he's not going to win an election because we live in a world that makes sense. And but that was after they had shot Harambe, and so the cool points are out the window, and I'm all twisted up in the game.
That is a fucking crazy reference.
This is my life all the time, though, because we're living in a simulation, and I'm just a river of details. You know what I mean? And I'm just a glob of shit.
Was that a reference to that Steve Martin Queen Latifah movie?
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
What's it called?
Bringing Down the
House. I actually made Danielle watch the trailer to that like a month or two ago because I just stumbled upon it.
Yeah, or maybe it's on Netflix. I think it's on HBO Max.
Maybe it's because it's on Netflix. Actually, then I just showed it to her because it's so. What a weird. I
do love. Sometimes I'll sit in front of Netflix and I'll just watch the trailers.
That can be exhausting.
No, but it's like I get like all the shows. It's like I don't need to watch that show. I got all the exciting parts already.
Yeah, but I got that time stress. I can't just sit there and relax because I feel like I have a limited amount of time, and therefore I'm never actually relaxing. So I get mad if I'm clicking through too often or too much.
Because you feel like you're not absorbing enough of your downtime?
Because it's like I need to dedicate myself to one thing, and one thing that I can fully enjoy in its entirety in this limited time that I have in my day. And time stresses me the fuck out because I wake up at like 6:30 in the morning and I work till 5 p.m. and then I go to the gym for like 2 hours, and there was always like a 30 to an hour like downtime period between those two things, and then I got like 2 hours at home before I go to bed and still don't get enough sleep because I'm not enjoying all the limited time of the day.
Wow.
Yeah, But enough about me.
What?
What were we talking about?
I don't even remember.
Shit.
We're about out of time.
Oh, God, what time is it?
It's late. It's 10:40.
Have we been doing this for an hour?
We just hit an hour.
Just hit an hour. Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
Guys,
Wait, we didn't talk about the thing in South Korea.
what happened in South Korea?
The fucking South Korean scientists or some shit. They were messing with
The sun.
fusion energy, and so they created a sun, an artificial sun
Yep.
that heated up to 100 million degrees Celsius, which apparently is 7 times hotter than the actual sun, in a confined, like, controlled space. Which is great that they broke a record and did that for like 20 seconds. They held it at that temperature. But how fucking dangerous is that? That something as more powerful than the sun was just made by man on this planet that's already kind of fucked. Like, is that bad? Do you think it's going to fuck with the ozone? What if there's a breach? What if some sort of Chernobyl thing happens? I'm genuinely, like, worried about it.
Where's the story? I googled South Korea.
What? I said it to you.
In what?
South Korean fusion energy record or something.
Oh, you want me to type all that in?
You have your computer right in front of you. I'm looking at
You want me to read? Here we go. Korean artificial sun sets new world record of 20-second long operation at 100 million degrees.
Just said all that.
The superconducting Tokamak advanced research, a superconducting fusion device, also known as the Korean artificial sun, set the new world record. Blah blah blah. Ion temperature.
That's literally what Dr. Octavius was doing in the second Spider-Man movie by Sam Raimi. Like, he had the power of the sun and the thing of in the palm of his hand, and then it all went south. We're gonna end up with a supervillain, or the planet's gonna get destroyed.
Isn't it dangerous?
More than it already is.
Like, how do we? Oh, but is it real small?
Yes, it's small and confined. No, it's the size of the other sun. Yes, of course it's small.
I didn't know how big it was.
It's in a confined
When
space.
you
It's
call
very
it-
controlled. They're not going to make a giant mega
But
facility.
how small is it?
I'm sure it's still pretty damn big, but compared to the actual sun.
No, I didn't ask if it was as big as the sun. No,
No, I
this
know.
thing fits in a room.
Yes, no, it's in a controlled space.
It's in like
But what if the wall breaks?
It's in like an airtight cauldron.
That is terrifying. You don't put that. That's lightning in a bottle, almost literally.
So it's in like a warehouse. Lightning in a bottle, almost literally.
Like, I mean, compare the two.
National Fusion. I can't do S's today. Any SI situation at trivia tonight, I was messing up. And it's like in a...
Are we watching you watch YouTube right now?
Yeah, it's good. Here, guys, you want to watch it with me? That's the end of our show, guys. Make sure
Thank
you follow
God.
us on Instagram, patreon.com/JacobV. Find No Antics. Pre-order that shirt. My latest solo piano set is exclusively on Patreon right now. Patreon.com/JacobV. Recorded live at the Heavy Anchor. It sounds really lovely. I'm really proud of it. Find us on Spotify, Apple Music, No Antics, Blended by Stereo, Jacob V. Baby brother, say hi.
Hi, everyone.
Ah-la-la-la.
And bye, everyone.
Ah-la-la.
La, la, la.